So little more than 24 hours after the shock announcement from France's President Emmanuel Macron that he is calling snap elections in little over 2 weeks' time, France's left-wing parties coming together to fight. The socialists, the Greens, the communists and the more far-left France Unbowed party announcing they will present shared platform candidates. Just one candidate, that is, then, per constituency to represent all of them. Their hope that they can really challenge Macron and also really challenge the rise of Marine Le Pen's the far right here, that rise that has led to this election in the first place.
This means we will be working together to put forward joint candidates in the first round of the parliamentary elections who will defend a programme that prioritises the urgent social, ecological and democratic battles. It's a first step, and we will be continuing to work over the coming hours to ensure that we're ready in the days to come, because the battle is about to begin.
We are a country rising up today and saying no to the far right and yes to democracy, yes to the left. Thank you for coming out today. Keep it up.
We signed a document with 7 political organisations and launched an appeal for more people to join us tomorrow. I think there are already 15 or so political organisations that have joined this appeal this evening. Tomorrow, I hope we'll reach 20 or so, and that this very broad gathering will enable us to go all the way to victory.
Well, Andrew Hilliar from our International Affairs Desk is joining us here on set now. So, Andrew, people have been saying you've got to come together, and it does seem as though the left parties are all coming together now.
Yeah, well, Stuart, we're seeing what I would call the outlines of an agreement here between the 4 main parties on the left. That's France Unbowed, the Socialist Party, the Communists, and the Greens, as you can see on the screen here. So late last night, they issued a joint statement in which they announced their desire to form a popular front. So what they'll do is they'll combine forces, putting forward only one candidate in each electoral district. Of course, that the aim there to stop left-wing candidates draining votes away from each other in the same district. And they're all going to rally behind the same election manifesto. Now, Stuart, for people like you and me who don't follow French politics quite as closely, it's important to point out that this is not the first time that the left has come together to form an alliance. They actually already did it 2 years ago during the last legislative elections under the banner of NUPES. And you remember that was dominated by France Unbowed and its leader, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, after he came third in those presidential elections in 2022, narrowly missing out on second place to Marine Le Pen. But basically what happened over the next 2 years was that infighting caused that alliance to implode. There were differences in policy, and the breaking point came last October when differences emerged over Israel's war on Gaza. You had basically the Socialist Party and the Greens openly supporting Israel's response to those attacks by Hamas last October, whereas France Unbowed took a more nuanced view on what happened, focusing more on Israel's repressive policies towards Palestinians as a factor driving those attacks. France Unbowed's leader, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, was accused of echoing anti-Semitic stereotypes. So essentially what we have here is an agreement, but getting an agreement is one thing. Now, whether or not it sticks over the next few weeks and months is something else. So we'll have to see what happens. Will differences re-emerge over Gaza? What will this election manifesto look like? Those are big answers, big questions, and we need to see what the answers will be.